Talk about logical equivalences and proofs in this class. So this is sections 1.4 through 1.6 in Zybooks. So going straight into it, why do you need logic? Logic is required because it's a lot more precise than natural language. When you speak, you say things like you may have cake or ice cream, but it doesn't mean anything because the next question is, can I just have both? So for this reason, you use logic specially for hardware and software. You have a set of definite logical statements and then you prove them to decide whether they're consistent, whether they can actually work, and so on and so forth. Now, propositional equivalences is a set of statements that you manipulate. Basically, you take one statement and replace it with another equivalent statement, so long as they're true. They both have to have the same exact truth value. So if they're both false, they both need to be false. If both are true, then they both need to be true. We're going to go through different terminology, go through logical equivalences using truth tables and then known laws. So why do you need terminology? Because once you understand terminology, then it's easy to play with the equivalences. So tautology is basically a true statement. It's exactly what the word means in English language. So it's basically this compound proposition that's always true. Contradiction is something that is always false. So again, it's much like what we do in English language. You contradict something, which you basically are saying that it is false. And then you have a contingency, which is neither a tautology nor a contradiction. So it's a third statement or a tertiary statement called a contingency. Much like in English language, it's a backup plan, or it's something else. It's not one or the other. So your simple tautology is a P or negative P. That's basically a tautology because they're both the same. A simple contradiction is P and negative P, which is again, it's false. It's always going to be false. Now, in terms of logical equivalences, propositions P and Q are considered logically equivalent if and only if P of Q is a tautology, which means both P and Q have to be true and vice versa. Only then does it become a logically equivalent statement. Now you have that notation, the 3 lines, which means P is equivalent to Q. That's your logical equivalent statement. It is not a connective, it is just a statement. The way you go about with proofs is you have different assumptions. Then you have logical steps that are definitions, already proved equivalences, statements, and so on. Those are the steps you take to prove that the assumption is true, and then you reach a conclusion, which is what you're trying to prove. So for example, let's see if those specific logical propositions are true. So I already have it filled out. What you're trying to prove is if P of Q and negative P or Q are logically equivalent. So if you look at P of Q, you have this is true, this is true, this is not true because P is true but Q is not, and then this is true because both of them are true. So that's the first part, the left hand side of our statement. Now let's negate P, which you get that, and then negative P or Q basically gives us this value, and since both of them are true, the left side and the right side, they are logically equivalent. So we can conclude this. Now, when you have different propositional equivalences, you establish them by using truth tables or using known laws. We're going to go through the known laws in a little bit, but let's look at example 1. These can be, so if you want to show P and Q is basically if P and Q, if Q, it's a tautology. So the way we're going to go about with the steps, that's our given statement, P and Q, if Q. It's logically equivalent if you can take the whole thing and now negate it, which is an implication law. So implication law, you apply that. So you're negating everything. So negative P and of Q becomes negative P of P or Q and Q. Then you apply De Morgan's law, which we're going to see in a second, and then associative law, negotiation law, and so on and so forth. So you keep applying different laws to it, And then once you've done that, you basically prove that it is a tautology. So if you look at this, begin with with exactly the left hand side statement and end with exactly what's on the right. You have to justify every step. That's your left hand statement, that's your commutative, that's distributive, and then you have tautology basically. So every single step have a logical statement to it, and then you have your identity. Now if we want to prove P or negative Q and Q, if and only if P or Q, our left hand statement is given to us. Our commutative law says that you basically need to be able to show that it's all distributive on the right. This does not guarantee that the equivalence works on the left, but the matrix multiplication is not always commutative. So once you have that, whether or not your OR statement is distributive on the left is not the point. You need to prove that it actually works. Now if you want to prove P of Q if and only if negative Q, if P, negative Q. So P of Q, the logical implication equivalence is that you negate it, right? So once you negate it, you're going to have negative P and Q. If you have a commutative, you're going to actually have Q and negative P. If you have a double negation, you have negation of negative Q or negative P, and then you have implication equivalence, which again negative Q is equivalent to negative of P. That's what we're trying to prove. So that's your contrapositive. So why do you have to justify everything? Again, you have to justify everything because your operation must have the same order of operands as the rule you quote, unless you've already proved it and then the order doesn't matter. So 3 plus 4 is equal to 4 plus 3. This is proved because this is again done. 3 by 4 is not equal to 4 by 3. This is also proved because these are integers. We actually know the math behind it. Now if you look at basically logical connectives, so A multiplied by B is not equal to B multiplied by A for everything. For example, if you have a matrix multiplication, it will not work. A matrix multiplication is essentially your truth table. You are going to go through it further on in class, so you can see that. So my advice with this, always remove double implication, replace implication by disjunction, push your negation inwards, that way you can actually see what's going on better, and then distribute it. Now this is your cheat sheet in terms of list of logical equivalences. This is what we've been talking about. You have this in Zybooks as well. These are your identity laws, domination laws, idempotent laws, double negation law, commutative law, and associative law. Have these handy because these are basically laws. You're going to use these to actually prove different things. And then these are going to be your distribution laws, De Morgan's laws, and miscellaneous. So just have them handy just in case. So the summary is, again, by proving two statements A, B are equivalent, you can basically verify that the two columns of A and B in the truth table are the same. You can verify that the column of if A if B, or B if A in truth table has all specific entries, then it becomes a tautology. Same concept here, apply different interference laws, figure out what needs to be the same. Once you have that, you're basically done proving logical equivalences. So that's all I have in terms of logical equivalences. Thank you.